amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine, education has been uprooted across the country. There are so many heartbreaking scenes of classrooms and child care centers like the one you see there that have been decimated by Russian missiles. American Federation of Teachers President Randi Weingarten traveled to Ukraine this week to meet with students and teachers, and she joins us now to share her experience. Welcome, Randi. You are there in Poland, correct? But you met with displaced teachers in a town outside of Lviv. What stories did they share with you about their current situation?
So we just crossed the border into Poland from Ukraine this morning as the air raid sirens were on around the whole country. And, you know, unfortunately, we got to experience what it was like to be in the bomb shelters and to have schools go from in-person, where they were waiting to greet us, to online. But, you know what, these are the four kind of takeaways I have here. The resolve of the Ukrainians is intense to win the war, intense to fight for freedom, intense to have a future for their kids. As you're hearing this, aside from, you know, from the tape from me, and the teachers see their role in this fight for the future for their children and the fight for the future of their country. And they kept on saying to me, as they were talking about their stories of escaping from the East, from being displaced teachers now in Western Ukraine, telling stories of having a house bombed on them and trying to get out, telling stories of whispering while they were teaching in their basements so that the Russians wouldn't hear the Ukrainian language and torture or kill them. These are the stories that the teachers were telling me about how important it is to still teach children, to keep children safe, to try and create an environment where they feel connected and nurtured. If that doesn't give you a sense of hope in the midst of this hate and horrific actions by Russia, I don't know what would. And they really wanted me to say to Americans, thank you for the weapons that they have gotten. Thank you for supporting them, as our union has tried to do in lots of different ways. But they have, and they know and want their kids to have a future. So, you know, they'll do meetings while we're in bomb shelters, you know, talking about education, talking about books, talking about curriculum, because they're not going to let the Russians take their future.
It's so heartbreaking and horrifying to hear what they're dealing with, but the fact that there is also hope in how passionate they are about continuing all of this is remarkable. Randi, I also want to ask you, while we have you, turning now to the status of education here in the U.S., what is the American Federation of Teachers doing to address the country's teacher shortage?
Well, we're doing several things this year in America. And, you know, I took these 4 days to be in Ukraine because the Ukrainian unions have been asking me to come, and they said how important it was for their hope and to have, you know, foreigners there who are connected with them. But in America, this is what we're doing. Number one, we have to create a respectful environment in terms of teaching and learning. The culture wars hurt all of that, and the culture wars are about the politics of the midterms or the politics of elections. They're not about teaching and learning. So we're running a What Kids Need campaign, and what kids need is what teachers need. Teachers' teaching conditions are kids' learning conditions. So yes, of course we have to raise salaries. And I just saw that Social Security, because of inflation, was going to be raised about 8%. We have to have salaries keep up with inflation. But more than that, if you're a teacher, you get paid for a similarly skilled position in the private sector about 20 or 30% more. So teachers want to make a difference in the lives of kids. They do it because they love kids and want to make a difference, but they need to have a middle class lifestyle. But equally important, it's what kids need. So we need to have the emotional supports for kids. We need to have lower class size, and we need to focus on the basics. So we're focusing on things like giving books out to kids. We've given out close to 1 million books since December out to kids and families to promote the love of reading. And we also have to make sure that we have pathways to college and to career so that kids actually come to school feeling like they want to be in school. And last, we have to have the emotional supports and the guidance counselors and social workers to deal with the trauma in the United States for a 2-year pandemic, the trauma elsewhere in the world. So the bottom line is respect doesn't cost anything. If we could actually keep the culture wars out of classrooms and really focus on what kids need, that will hugely help the teacher shortage and obviously paying people more.
It's a pretty comprehensive list of what sorts of investments the AFT would like to see made into education infrastructure. Randi Weingarten, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Poland and telling us a little about the resilience and the determination of the Ukrainian educators there.
Thank you.